back to DeFi, Degens, Drip, and Farm for Poverty, where on this channel, our vision is to empower the impoverished by helping you find financial freedom through crypto assets. If you like the mission, you resonate with the vision, and you find this content useful, please subscribe and leave a comment and a thumbs up. Hey guys, welcome back to DeFi, Degens, Drip, and Farm for Poverty. So today in the video, we're talking about Michael Saylor and why he's telling you to buy Drip. That's not true. Michael Saylor is not telling you to buy Drip, but he is giving advice on purchasing Bitcoin, and he is single-handedly responsible for the mass adoption in 2021 for institutional investors getting into Bitcoin. His company, MicroStrategies, has purchased more than 70,000 Bitcoin. He was solely responsible for Tesla getting into Bitcoin as well. So if you're not familiar with who he is engineer from MIT. He's got double major in aeronautics and astronautics. He owns and founded MicroStrategies, which was a software development company, and now they seem to be a Bitcoin acquisition company. But the point is, the guy is extremely intelligent, and he has hours and hours of content where he dives into the understanding of what is money, what is energy and property, and how it started literally from the Stone Ages and all this other stuff. You can follow his podcast, not his podcast, but you can check him out on YouTube. He's done podcasts with Robert Breedlove, and there's a series called What is Money, and it's like 20 hours worth of content. But if you don't want to dive into all that, what I've done is pull up this video. It's only a minute and 30 seconds where he's going to give you an insight onto what is money and why it's catastrophic in regards to the direction we're going for inflation. And that will tie into why I'm talking about Drip in the first place. So let's listen to that.
Money is socio-economic energy. It is money is monetary energy, or it's the energy, the backhaul energy that we use to trade with. In the Pacific Islands, they use stone coins. Some European showed up in a ship, and he realized that stone coins are rare on one island, but they're very plentiful, big stones on another island. He sailed to the other island, picked up the stones, brought them back to the first island, and enslaved everybody on the island. So the problem with money is, how do we keep track in a fair distribution of who owns a claim to what? The problem is inflation. If I keep inflating the currency, if I double the amount of currency, but the amount of stuff in the economy is constant, well, then the price of everything that's scarce and desirable doubles. So the problem with currencies in the history of time is the trust in the issuer. You're trusting an individual, right? You're either trusting a banker or a JP Morgan, or you're trusting a family, the Rothschilds, or you're trusting a king or a prince, or you're trusting a mayor, or you're trusting a government. Economists like Saifedean Ammous, who wrote the Bitcoin Standard, he estimates that the inflation rate in the modern era, dollar weighted, is 14%. Okay? Think about that.
All right, so he touched on some points on this where he went from money to currency, and it's important to understand the difference between the two. So for the most part, everything we have nowadays, we just transact is currency. Currency has no intrinsic value outside of trade. We had money, and we still do, in the form of gold. So gold is considered sound money, but the difference between money and currency is that money has other means in which it can be utilized. So gold is used in like aerospace and dentistry and construction. It's not just a store of value. Some early forms of money and what the properties of money, I've used this in other videos, so I'm just going to recap real quick, is things that make it money is that it is scarce, it is fungible, meaning it can be swapped evenly. It's supposed to be divisible, so like a cattle is not quite as divisible. Once you slaughter it down and you have parts, you don't have a cattle anymore. So we had to get out of these early forms of money, and we eventually moved to currency. Now, Bitcoin is considered the most durable and best form of real money that we've created, in the sense that it has a limited amount, it's scarce, it's easily transportable across any border. It's the digital gold version. And that's why Michael Saylor is so big on it. And what he touched on is that the 14% inflation of the U.S. dollar. So this means that you're losing 14% of your purchasing power year over year. And just to put that in easy terms, let's call it 15%. If you had $100 in your bank account, by the end of the year, you will have $85 worth of purchasing power. And you may be thinking, well, what's the big deal? It's US dollars. I don't care. I'm in Switzerland or wherever else. Well, the US dollar is the global reserve currency, meaning every good and service that is internationally traded is transacted or demonetized in dollars. So it impacts everyone everywhere. And regardless of what your account is doing, if US dollars are being inflated, then the value of your equivalent fiat currency is also being inflated. So that's why he's big on Bitcoin and why he uses that as a hedge against inflation. So what I'm saying is that DRIP is a similar hedge. Now, DRIP is more of the DeFi, degen orange pill for people. It is by no means equal to Bitcoin. I'm not saying that Bitcoin maxis would have my head, but I do want you to see there are some similarities. So in DRIP, we do have it as not only a store of value, but also utility. So in DRIP, you can either just have the utility of buying DRIP and staking in the Faucet and getting the daily payout of 1% per day, which gives you 365% total, which is obviously higher than the 14% interest rate. So you beat that. That's great. You can also use it as a form of asset or lending and borrowing. That's coming soon, but where you'll be able to loan and borrow against your DRIP. So like an asset, like a house or something like that, you don't sell the house, but you can take a loan out against it. That is insane. That is awesome utility for DRIP. Also, it is being utilized in other ecosystems as a reserve currency or as a backing for projects. So that gives it another use case, such as the Loot NFT, the scratch offs, and the Atlantis Metaverse. So there's tons of utility in DRIP in addition to it being scarce or limited supply / deflationary. So Bitcoin has 1 million, DRIP has 1 million. Bitcoin can be argued that it is also deflationary because every day, I forgot what they said, but people lose their Bitcoin keys or wallets are lost or sent to the wrong address and making it irrecoverable. So bits and pieces of Bitcoin are being lost. There's already been at least 100,000 that is locked up to Satoshi Nakamoto. I forgot the exact number from all the others combined, but the point is there's no longer 1 million circulating supply. It's closer to like 90,000 or something like that, 900,000, can't remember. But anyway, same thing with DRIP. There's burn mechanics, there's locked up supply, liquidity, all this stuff that makes it deflationary. So the long and short of this video and the whole purpose of it is that one, I highly recommend you understand the blockchain space and what that means in regards to money and how currency is affecting the global market and all that other stuff. So that you can either choose to get out of that traditional failing model or leverage against it, which is what Michael Saylor is doing. That's why he's buying so much Bitcoin. Fun fact, he doesn't have to sell assets. So since he has so much money now in Bitcoin, he can actually get an interest-free loan from the bank and buy more Bitcoin with it. And then the Bitcoin appreciation pays off the loan. Like, this is what the rich people do. That's how he's acquired 71,000 plus Bitcoin in less than 2 years. I just want you to understand it, and he's a great guy to help you understand it. If you enjoy some really deep dives into the mechanics and fundamentals of money and the history of money and all that stuff, but if you're just looking to get into something that can have a hedge against inflation, then I personally recommend DRIP. Obviously not financial advice. If you're watching this video, you may already be familiar with it, but if you're not, basically you will buy DRIP, and right now it's at its all-time lows for this year. So if you are bullish on it and you've watched any of my videos, you will see that there are some amazing use cases coming in the future. Therefore, buying in now will have you not only get your 1% per day, you will also get the price appreciation that comes from it in the future. So I 100% believe that we will see a triple digit, at least $100 again within the next 90 days of this video. So you can document that for me. By the end of the year, I would say we would be around $300. Some other people are saying in the thousands, but I'm gonna go with like 300 or so. And long term, yeah, That's a 4-digit drip token for sure. So if you can deal with the short-term volatility and you've done your own research, then I highly suggest this is a great place to get started in hedging your bet against inflation. This is they call it a high risk or low risk, high reward. I say everything in crypto is high risk, period. High risk, high reward. So I'm a high risk, low reward. But yeah, take that with a grain of salt. It just depends on your risk tolerance and how you view things. So that's it for this video. Just hope to add some insight and thought it would be nice to give you guys a perspective from one of the leaders in the space and tie that together. So until next time, guys, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.